All right. Let's see if this works. Hang on. Yeah, that's pretty weak. Let's try that one more time. Ready? Well, that's not good. Oh, that's not horrible. Don Burnside, DonBurnside.com. Wine the Frog Video Hour. See, I can even do the slow fade out music. For this, today is November 4th, 2019. From the 85225, not from the 85308 or the 85226, as was previous. Also not from the Mini Cooper Roadster Studio. That's because, well, you're over here, and I just thought I'd try this instead. I want to show you guys the new bike. It's pretty sweet. This just got picked up. I've had some theft issues here at the new place in the 85225. I had a couple of bicycles stolen, which was not a good experience at all. And so while I was planning on doing an upgrade of my main bicycle, my black bike, we'll say, it was a charge plug, really nice bike. I liked it a lot. But it was a tank. I was planning on upgrading it February-ish anyway. But so the theft of said bicycles forced me to upgrade early. Actually, and it helped out too. The local bike shop here, Land of Cyclery, was having a closeout sale. Was it last week? Last week. So I was able to get this very fine Specialized Diverge E5 Sport for a song. Literally a song. I was able to get it for... I want to say $200 or $300 off the list price. So $1,200 bicycle that I took home for $900. So I was pretty pleased with that. And this is amazing. I want you guys to listen to Ride Bikes Radio. The next episode we'll be talking about this. The last episode of Ride Bikes Radio, ridebikesradio.com, we actually discussed the theft of said bicycles. Luckily, they did not take the old bicycles, the Coulson Tandem or my 67 Schwinn. They just took my critical fixed gear bike and my charge plug. But I've replaced so far one. There we go. The other one I'm not going to replace. I was looking for an excuse to be away from that bicycle anyway, so this just kind of helped me out. Win-win, I suppose. The Schwinn is going to be taking the place of that bicycle. And we'll be talking more about that on ridebikesradio.com as well. But that happened. I've moved. And this is my shitty apartment, but yeah, it's home. Many reasons for that, but we're not going to go into any of them. I've recently taken on a new job, and I'm going to have a lot to say about that. Dusting while we talk. There's a big pile of dust here on my thing. I am going to have more to say about that, of course. The last job was... I enjoyed my last job. I liked the work that I did for that company. I didn't mind the company. My problem is I wasn't able to do my job to its fullest. I wasn't able to fully take care of my customers in a manner that I thought was appropriate. And the product that we sold at that company, I no longer had any faith in. No faith in our ability to create a actual usable product for anybody except for a very specific subset of customers. And I was done. So I've moved on to something else. It's the company... Actually, the product that I'll be working on is it's a Dropbox for enterprise. It's actually better than Dropbox. It's really, really cool product. But it's like all those, like Dropbox, like Box.net, like Google Drive, like OneDrive, like them all. This one's called Simplicity. But among other things, there's no magic folder, so you don't have to put everything into one folder for the sync to happen. And I think that's pretty nice. So... I'm going to be doing onboarding and implementation, customer technical service, if you will. And I'm actually really excited about it. And that's had me thinking about certain things, like this bicycle, for example. I just keep leaning back like that because isn't that a good looking bike? Yeah, I know. And yes, that is a bobblehead of me you see on the back there too. Where is it? That is a bobblehead of me. That's a long story for another day. But the reason I got this bike and the reason I went to a local bike shop is I actually went to Performance Bike Shop first. Performance, the big chain of bike shops. You guys might be familiar with them. There's Performance in almost every state, I believe. And there's 3 or 4 of them here in Arizona. And I went to Performance Bike Shop because I knew I'd be able to find a bike in my budget. A $900 bike, by the way, is not in my budget. Just for the record, my budget was $0, and I was hoping to find something for about $600, $700. And I went to Performance, and they had quite a few bikes that would have fit the bill. I didn't recognize any of the brands, but they were as light as this one, and they had the same features as this. They didn't have the fancy carbon fork or the Shimano Sora drivetrain, anything like that. It was all cheaper components, but it didn't have the same geometry. It probably wouldn't have been as comfortable as this bike, probably wouldn't have handled as well as this bike, both on road and hard pack gravel. But you understand what I'm getting at. They had a bicycle that would have filled my need within budget. And I went into my local Performance Bike Shop and this happens every time I go to Performance Bike Shop, and this is one of the issues I have with these guys. I was completely ignored. Nobody said a word to me when I walked in. Nobody said a word to me when I walked out. Nothing. And it's not like I wasn't, trying to be ignored. I was taking bicycles off the racks. I was picking them up. I was touching things. I was looking at people. But nobody could be bothered to even say something to me and, recognize the fact that I'd actually walked into the store with potential of spending money. I'll continue to go to Performance Bike Shop. I went to Performance today. In fact, Performance has best prices on, parts and things like that. I needed backup tubes. I don't need tubes. This thing's got, really good tires so far. It's only ridden 100 miles. But I always like to have backup so when I get a blowout, it's easy to replace. I needed a new bike pump as well because the thieves absconded with my bike pump. So I ordered a replacement from Amazon, and it was stolen from my front porch. Yeah. Amazon was able to refund me the money on that, so I just went to a local bike shop and picked one up. No big deal. And that's what Performance for me is good for. I was able to get those things. I was able to get a replacement tool I needed as well. They have all the stuff in stock. They've got good prices on the stuff, and I can support a business that operates in my community while not a local business, and one that clearly just doesn't seem to care if they get my business, but I gave them my business anyway, trying to spread the love. I was going to go back to Landis for the parts, but I had points at Performance. At least I thought I had points because nobody bothered to mention the fact that I had points when I checked out. So I don't think I'll be going back to Performance Bike Shop after today. And it's not that they're a great bike shop, and they sold me my last bike, and they always repaired it and kept it running great, no trouble at all. And when I do get the opportunity to engage with folks at Performance Bike Shop, I never have any problems. They're always super helpful, super nice. But the problem there is getting them to engage to begin with. They don't seem to understand that people are walking into the shop and they don't know anybody in the shop because they don't do any of the group rides, and so they're not part of the cool kids club for that particular shop, and they don't know the shop manager on a first name basis. They just want to go in to ask some questions or buy a bike or get some kit or maybe buy a part. And nobody really seems to want to help anybody do that unless, they're a friend of the show or, they know somebody or they feel like they're part of the club. And I have a little bit of a problem with that. Sure, everybody likes to be part of the club, right? That's awesome. Walk in, Norm, hey, how's it going, right? Be a regular, but even still, it should never be expected that even though you're part of the club, that you don't deserve a certain level of service. You shouldn't be ignored. You shouldn't be just said hi to and left to your own devices. Even if you're a regular, someone should say, so what brings you in today? You going to spend some money with us? We just here for a chat? Nah, whatever. Just got my bike in for repairs, whatever. I'm a regular at a bar. Craft 64, I think I've mentioned it to you guys before. Best place in Arizona. I would consider myself a regular at this particular pizza/beer joint. And every time I go in, I always get a very friendly greeting. And then the very next thing that happens is, what am I there for? What brings you in today, Don? We're going to have some lunch and some beers. Then they get us taken care of. They realize that even though I am a friend of that particular show, that I'm there still as a customer. And that is something that is lost on many businesses, I believe, where they just think people know what they're doing. They expect somebody to walk in to a bike shop, for example, and completely just know what they want and not have any questions and walk out the door. That's not the case. I had questions about buying a new bicycle. So Performance lost out on a sale for me, and I know somebody who works for Performance, and I apologize if this is hitting too close to home for you, but that's how I feel. And I'm going to talk about this again more, probably on the big blog, donburnside.com. More than likely. My focus has been for quite a while on customer service. Now it's part of my job. So I'm going to make sure I knuckle down and really start walking the walk and talking the talk and following all the things and practice what I preach. If someone walked into my shop and they walked out, I would be upset. I have been upset before. This has happened to me in the restaurants before. Someone has come in. This happened to me in two different restaurants on two different occasions, where somebody had come into the restaurant for a special occasion, a birthday, graduated the bar, or something like that, and it was a nice restaurant. It wasn't like black tie fancy, but it was like half a step down from being black tie fancy, and it was a destination. Right. And I had two tables on two separate occasions at two different locations come in because they were celebrating something. It was a birthday or somebody graduated from the bar. Doesn't really matter what they were celebrating. They had come in for a purpose. And the purpose wasn't just to have a meal, but it was a celebratory meal, which is a bigger deal than just to having coming in for a piece of prime rib and a baked potato. And on both occasions, the entire staff had failed to inquire as to why the guests had come into the restaurant. There were words, not so nice words, towards the end of the shift to the entire staff. Kitchen staff, bus staff, wait staff, host staff, management staff. Happened on my shift. I was less than pleased. That's just not how it's supposed to go. It's not that hard. You guys who thinks customer service is hard, make it hard. Businesses that go out of their way to make sure that you have a bad experience are doing so on purpose. And that's way more harder to do, way more difficult to make sure somebody has a bad experience than to make sure that they don't. Because people are nice inherently, and good customer service, a big part of that is just being nice, right? Simple. Everybody can be nice. Well, not everybody. Most everybody can be nice. Usually those that are seeking customer-facing employment have a tendency to be nice people. That's why they want those kinds of jobs. And then when they're not able to be nice because of systems put in place by the business or by the business owners or by upper management, that's what causes customer service to go awry. It's really not that hard. You just got to say, hi, how can I help you? If someone would have did that to me at Performance Bike Shop 2 weeks ago or a week ago Saturday, week ago yesterday, was it a week ago? Yeah, it was a week ago. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Doesn't matter. If someone would have came to me at Performance Bike Shop, hey, how's it going today? How can we help you? I probably would have bought a bike at that shop. I'm easy. Sell to me, I buy. I go to a restaurant, server says, oh, you know what makes that burger better? Grilled onions. I'm all done. Sell me stuff, I will buy it. That's the kind of guy I am. I know a lot of people aren't like that. I know a lot of you'd rather just walk around looking at your phones. You don't want to interact with people. No, I can't talk to people. Oh. And that's fine. Just buy your shit off Amazon. But for those of you who don't like going to Amazon for everything, there are certain things that you think you need to touch, like, a new bicycle, for example. This isn't something at this level, this isn't something I just buy off of Amazon, right? You can't go to Best Buy and see how it looks and then go and order it off of Amazon for this. I could have, but I would have saved like a nickel. Why not just throw the money at the local bike shop instead, right? People like to be helped. People that work for you like to help. That's why they have a job with you. That's probably why you employed them to begin with. But when they don't even do that much, money's walking out the door. $900. $900 was lost because nobody said a word to me at a bike shop. Just saying. $900 is a lot of money. Don't know about you guys. $900 is a lot of money. I know Performance Bike Shop, $900. Meh. They probably don't care that much. Local bike shop cares. As soon as I walked into both local bike shops, somebody was there saying, "Hey, how's it going? What are you here for?" Right off the bat. No hard pressure. They didn't try selling me something right out the door. They inquired as to what brought me into their place of business. And I told them, so my bikes were stolen. I need a new bike. And they go, "Oh, good thing you came to a bike shop. Let's show you what we got." Perfect. I went to one bike shop. They showed me like 2 or 3. I was pretty excited. Went to the other bike shop, who, to be fair, one of them showed me this bike, but the version that they had didn't have a dual front ring gear. Don't worry about it. It was different. It was the same model, but it was different enough that this is the one that I wanted. And as it turned out, the other bike shop had this bike, and they had it for $200 less. So money won, but either way, my money stayed in Arizona. And all because, why? Someone said hi to me when I walked in the door and asked me how they could help. It's really not that big of a deal. Anyway, so ends my rant on customer service. Nothing else new going on. It's dark here, 8:32. You guys had to change your clocks last night. I forgot to tell you, current temperature, because Arizona, current temperature here in the A5225 is 72 degrees, and it is partly cloudy. It's been kind of that way. New job's going great. Thank you for asking, by the way. I think it's going really well. It's only been a week, so it's hard for me to tell. And it's only been a week, and I'm almost the senior guy. Not really. One of my coworkers has been there for 3 weeks, and the person who's been on the team the longest has been there for a year. So, and it's going to be very interesting because it's a job that doesn't currently exist. It's a job that myself and my coworker actually need to create. So it's going to be a lot of challenges. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very exciting. Going to be a lot of hard work, I would imagine. Because I'm essentially creating a job that doesn't exist. It does exist. There are people that are doing the work. Do I think they're doing the work very well? No. Would you guys expect me to say yes? No. There's a lot of extra steps, a lot of time being wasted. And a lot of it's like listening to podcasts. A lot of it is people that like to hear the sound of their own voice. I know that's not the case with any member of my team, but it's a lot of repetitive stuff. And the repetition's not needed. Just, here, this is the product. Let's show you how the product works. It's file sharing. At the end of the day, it's still file sharing. It's got some really hardcore advanced features. And it's like, oh, you're IT? Let's go through the hardcore advanced features. Oh, you're an end user? Watch this. This is cool. Right click. Done. Oh, that's nice. How do I get rid of it? Right click. Done. Go over here. Right click. Gone. Oh, okay. How do I share that? Right click. Oh, okay. So really, as long as you can right click. But there has to be documents and there has to be procedures and step by step for the next guy, whoever takes a job from me after I no longer do this job. Or should we bring somebody else onto the team because we're doing so well at our job that we need more people to do the job, right? So that was a topic of conversation. We have to create the job, number one. And number two, I'm just thinking out loud with my coworker. I go, besides creating our job, we should probably create an onboarding process for anybody who starts doing this job. Like a list of notes and documents and web links and intranet links and folders they need access to and people they need to introduce themselves to. It's like, oh yeah, things that I think of. I'm not saying I'm like the greatest guy in customer service history, but I know how to set shit up. I don't have anything else. I just wanted to rant about customer service, really. And Mr. Esterbrook begged me for a Wine the Frog video hour. New bike? check. New job, check. And I'm back in Chandler. Been here for about 6 months. I'm probably going to end up moving north again because the drive to the new office is a little bit further. And if last week is any indication, traffic is getting worse, not better. Every day last week, I spent 2 hours a day in my car. So that was pretty rough. I don't appreciate that. I say every day, I lied. Thursday, we had a team building opportunity to go bowling at a very fancy bowling alley in Scottsdale. It's very nice. I actually won a round of bowling, and I don't bowl, but I shot like a 165. Not a great score, but hey, I'll take it. So yeah, we went bowling. So that night I had an easy drive, and then Friday was a sort of a half day. They did a big barbecue lunch for everybody who was in the Arizona office that week, and then we have an in-house band made up of all of the upper management. They were actually really good, and so they played a set for us while we had barbecue lunch. They even brought beer. I know. Had a good nap that day, let me tell you. I don't have anything else. You guys know what to do. Just you can follow along. DonBurnside.com. There's going to be a lot more stuff coming. Not just recipes, but I'm going to be doing more customer service stuff. You're going to start seeing more podcast stuff there as well if you're interested in that at all. Also, you might have noticed some of these things have been appearing on the old Twitter. DB will do on Twitter. And of course, all my stuff gets over to DonBurnside.com as well, or the @DonBurnside. Yeah, this is going to be an ongoing conversation, both for podcasting stuff as well as customer service stuff. I've managed to get started with a new podcast group in Arizona. It's Arizona Podcasters, actually. It's just a bunch of people that either make podcasts or listen to podcasts, or they're podcast enthusiastic in one way, shape, or form in Arizona. And I'm trying to do what I can to help out the others in the group that haven't been doing this quite as long as I have. Going to start doing little tech talks and stuff. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But I'll probably talk more about that. I've got some more recipes I got to post too. My new found love of cauliflower. I have to do something. I got to write that up. Just grated cauliflower, rice cauliflower, whatever. I did grated cauliflower and it was awesome. But that's not for this. Not for you guys. But the mini's running fine. No problem there. I had a bunch of fuel issues. You guys read about those over at dbmini.us already. But Jerry got me hooked up there. Got me all sorted out. And then the new bike. Did I mention I really like the new bike? That's a Specialized Diverge E5 Sport. Not the plain E5. It's available in many different flavors. The Specialized Diverge just starts off as I want to say it starts off as an $800 bicycle and it goes up to a $10,500 bicycle when you get into the S-Works version, which means it's made entirely of carbon fiber and unobtainium and has all kinds of gizmos and whatnot. But you'll see here it'll take a little bit of a wider tire. That's not a little bitty skinny road tire. That's actually a 30 millimeter tire. I could probably get a 32 on here if I tried real hard. You'll notice there's a big gap in the cranks right there. This will take mountain bike size tires, front and back, if I had the right wheels for it. Now, this so far has been perfect. The last bike had a little bit of a wider tire on it, and I think and I've always wanted to go to a 30. That one had 36s on it, I think. It doesn't really matter. And I like this size better. And so far, this bike is completely capable on the road, on the path, hard packed gravel. I haven't tried putting it through anything too crazy because, well, there's no tread on the tire. So I'll get some treaded tires that I can swap in and out if I'm going to do some crazy rides, like in some dirt or something like that. But the gearing's fantastic. This thing's ready to take me up South Mountain, whatever I want to do. It's going to be really awesome. But we're done. I'm done talking to you. I don't want to look at this little camera anymore. It's weird, and I don't have coffee, so this is weird because we didn't go get coffee, and there wasn't the music playing, and I just wanted to get this knocked out really quick. If you guys want, follow along the home game, DonBurnside.com, of course. That's the blog. Recipes mostly of late. There's some other things there. Just go poke around. 15, 16 years worth of archives. Bound to be something that you like. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter, @DBWillDo. You can also follow me on the Instagram, at Don Burnside, at Don Burnside, my name. Simple. Most of you guys follow me already. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. We'll talk again soon, okay? Bye.